Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Daphne from Craftydust with another IKEA hack, or rather IKEA transformation, this time with the Malm Nightstand. IKEA furniture are definitely my favorite pieces of furniture to transform, and IKEA hacks or IKEA makeovers are definitely my favorite videos to film because I think the ideas are endless and anyone can recreate them. It's not like a piece of furniture I found on the street that cannot be found anywhere else. Fun fact, I actually did pick this up from the street. It was sitting outside for quite a while. I think it's obvious. It was super dirty, it was scratched, it had been rained on, and the color had worn off. And although I usually clean the pieces of furniture I pick up from the street before showing them on camera, I really wanted to show you guys what I was dealing with because I think the transformation is huge. So for this IKEA makeover, I wanted to create a design to match this IKEA Ingo table and this IKEA KALLAX unit that I have previously hacked. These are both in the same space currently, and the Malm Nightstand will be used as a set of drawers under the desk. So in this video, I will be adding a wooden surface to cover the existing surface of the Malm Nightstand, which is beyond saving, and I will also add a trim around the drawers as well as my favorite material of all times, burlap. Hello, my name is Daphne and I like to add burlap onto almost all my DIYs. I really try not to do the same things every time, but temptation got the better of me. So because the desk is more farmhouse and the KALLAX more industrial, I wanted to marry the two and create a piece that has both farmhouse and industrial elements, which sounds super weird, but trust the process. I think that's enough talking. I will add all the products used in the description box for your convenience. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. When it comes to this piece of furniture, it is very obvious that the drawers seem broken, but I figured out that they're actually not broken. It's just that these railings have been disassembled. So I'm just gonna reattach them and hopefully the drawers are gonna go back to place. Also, it is obvious a cat has peed over there, and I've seen multiple cats sitting on this piece of furniture. So let's start cleaning. So before doing anything to this nightstand, I wanted to give it a good deep clean. It was so dirty, I even had to wear gloves, and I first cleaned it with some water and a Wet-X to remove the obvious dirt, and I cleaned everything: interior, exterior, back, corners, inside drawers, everything. And then I cleaned it with some sugar soap for some deep clean to remove any dust and grease. I'm not kidding, this step took me half an hour, but it makes a ton of difference before painting. Next, I reattached the rails and made sure that the drawers are sitting straight. Then I removed the drawers again and applied wood filler on any scratches or damaged areas. I didn't apply any wood filler on the surface of the main unit because I will be covering it later on, and I let it fully dry. Of course, if you buy the unit brand new from IKEA, or if yours is in good condition, you can skip this part, which will save you a couple of hours. Once the wood filler was dry, I sanded all the surfaces with a 120 grit sandpaper to smooth out the wood filler and create an even surface for the primer to stick to. I have no idea what happened to the footage of me sanding the main unit. I think I never pressed the play button, but you get the point. I also sanded the surface of the unit to create an even surface for the pieces of wood I will be attaching later on, and then I wiped all the surfaces clean with a clean cloth. For primer, I am using the Benjamin Moore Fresh Start Eco Primer, which is good for laminate surfaces. Unfortunately, where I live, we don't have the Zinsser bin primer, which is shellac based and is even better for laminate surfaces. So this Benjamin Moore one is my next best option, and I'm using a foam roller to apply it, as well as a small paintbrush for the corners. And I will not be painting the surface of the drawers or the surface of the main unit, since I will be attaching other things on top of them. Okay, first layer of primer is completely dry. I am going to buff it with a 220 grit sandpaper, and then I'm going to apply a second layer of primer. I always do that on laminate surfaces, so let's start sanding. And second coat of primer, done. I'm gonna let it dry for a couple of hours, and I'm gonna be back with the main paint color. Okay, it's been a couple of hours later. I have already sanded the surface with a 220 grit sandpaper. I'm now ready for the main color, which is Onyx by Benjamin Moore. I will apply a total of 3 or 4 coats. I will apply the first one today, and then the other 2 or 3 off camera tomorrow. So you guys will see the first application and then the final result. And I will be sanding the surface with a 220 grit sandpaper between coats, because I have seen from experience that the paint applies better, it dries better, and it just gives a better result. So let's start applying the main color. Third coat is completely dry. I am very happy with this shade of black. It applied very smoothly. I could have gotten away with 2 coats of paint, but I applied a third one just in case. Very happy with it. Let's move on to the next step. To create the surface, I took a 6.7 by 1.7 centimeter piece of wood and placed it horizontally on the surface of the nightstand to mark my cut. And with a miter saw, I cut 7 equal pieces. I used this first piece to measure the rest of my cuts. When I had all 7 pieces, I placed them on the floor and took a really good look at them to decide the order in which I will be attaching them. So obviously I put the best one at the front and the worst one at the back, and then I numbered them on their bottom side to remember their order. Next, I placed them on the surface of the unit to make sure that they all fit, and I marked the excess on this last piece of wood, which was a couple millimeters wider. Using a planer, I got rid of these extra millimeters. If you don't have a planer, you can just sand this area with a coarse sandpaper. And then I sanded all 7 pieces with a 120 grit sandpaper. This project had a lot of sanding, which is certainly not my favorite part, but if you want a nice result, you gotta sand. Then I applied some silicone adhesive. You may be able to tell from my application, this was the most painful part of this DIY. I had a bruise on my shoulder for 3 days after that because the bottom of the bottle was wrinkled and the silicone gun would not sit properly. So I was pressing it against my shoulder. So once I had some adhesive, I went ahead and attached each piece and applied some pressure on it. And then I thought, why am I only limiting myself to silicone adhesive? I might as well apply some wood glue on top of it to make it even stronger. So I went back and applied wood glue on each piece. And to make sure all pieces were glued on real tight, I added some books and some extra surfaces I have, pressed them in and let it sit overnight. The next day I checked that all pieces were glued firmly, and then guess what? I sanded one more time to really make sure all pieces were leveled and the surface was even. And again, I used a 120 grit sandpaper. Luckily this time it only took around 10 minutes to sand everything. And then I also went in with a 220 grit sandpaper to smooth out everything. I wiped off the dust and now I am finally ready for staining. So to make sure I am not staining any painted areas, I went ahead and taped the edges of the nightstand with some painter's tape, and then using a cloth I applied a thin layer of some walnut stain, rubbing against the direction of the grain. And once I was done staining the surface, I went ahead and filled in all the details and hard to reach areas with a small paintbrush and wiped them off straight away with a cloth. The sides were a little rougher, so I used the brush to apply the stain, and once it dries you can go ahead and apply some poly, which will protect the surface from any scratches and spillage. I personally did not, because I really like this finish, and the surface will not be used a lot anyway since it will be under a desk. To finish off the surface I added 2 nails on each piece of wood on either side, about 1 to 1.5 centimeters in on either side. I used a tape measure to make sure they are evenly spread. The nails I used are not long enough to add support, they only have a design purpose, and that finishes off the surface of the unit. To create the trim, I measured the drawer, which is 39.7 by 23 centimeters, and I cut 4 39.7 centimeter long pieces and 4 23 centimeter long pieces with a 45-degree angle. Once I cut all the pieces, I sanded them with a 120 grit sandpaper, and then I went over them with a 220 grit one to smooth them out, and then I formed the outline on a flat surface. And essentially what I am doing is securing these 4 corners with a stapler on the bottom side, and then with some wood glue on the top side, wiping off the excess glue, and then using a clamp to hold the corners together until the wood glue dries. Looking back at it, you can skip this step completely. I will be attaching them on the drawer later on, so there's no reason as to why I needed to have the trim made beforehand. I just like to make my life a little bit more complicated sometimes. Then I stained the trims with the walnut stain, and of course I stained the inner and outer edges as well. Next, I spread the black burlap on an even surface and cut 2 large pieces. Yes, there is black burlap. I only found it recently, to be honest. And then I placed each piece on each drawer to cut it down even further so that it's shorter than the surface of the drawer by a few millimeters. That's because I didn't want the trim to be attached to the burlap directly. Why, you may ask? I don't know, that's how my brain is wired. I checked that the trim covers the burlap. Now the burlap is really dense and you can't see the surface underneath. That's why I didn't bother painting it, but you could see the sides of it. So I went ahead and touched up the edges with some black paint, let it dry for 10 minutes, and then I attached the burlap with some craft glue. So I spray glue all over the surface. This glue dries down glossy and is really strong. And then I added some books for some extra weight for a couple of hours. Then I spread a thick layer of the same craft glue on the back of the trim and attached it on the drawer. To really keep it pressed in, I used a few clamps with a piece of fabric underneath so I don't damage the trim. I let it dry for a couple of hours and then I did the second drawer. While that was drying, I finished the trim of the first drawer with a few nails. These are long enough to add some extra support and design as well. These are the same nails I used on the surface of the main unit, and I added one on every inch mark on all four sides of the trim. I decided to make my own knobs because I couldn't find any knobs that would really match and bring everything together. So I cut two wooden pieces using the same wood I used for the surface, and I made them 2 centimeters wide, sanded them with a 120 grit sandpaper, and then with a 221 wiped off the dust and stained them with the same walnut stain. And then I drilled 2 holes on the center of each drawer and attached them with a couple of screws. Also, you can clean the fabric with a lint roller, and that finishes off this Ikea Malm Nightstand makeover. Okay, it is finally complete and assembled. I love how it turned out. I'm gonna decorate it off camera, so let's skip to the final reveal in 3, 2, 1. And this, you guys, was my Ikea Malm makeover. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspired you. I personally love how it turned out, and I really like how the burlap is not overpowering. It is very subtle. Like from far away, you can't tell it's there, but once you get a little bit closer, you're like, oh, what is happening here? So all in all, it took me 5 days to finish it. I definitely took a lot of unnecessary steps along the way, so it took a little bit longer, and it cost me around 20 euros, which is $22 or $23. Of course, because I do a lot of DIYs, I had most of the materials. The only things I had to buy were the trim, a couple of foam rollers, and the black paint. You could get away with buying some sample paint because the amount of paint used is very little. They don't do samples in Cyprus, so I had to buy a liter of paint, and now I have almost a liter of black paint left, so I guess you will be seeing more black DIYs in the future. So if you liked today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Craftydust family for more home decor and DIY content. And of course, don't forget to ring the bell so that you're notified whenever a new video goes up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!